I'm ready to record. This summer, be ready for the action of a lifetime. After a tragedy, a new man is born by the hands of a new hero is born by the hands of a single man. He has the technology. She be better and faster. Half dino, half robot. All what? Man. So apparently you can buy this. There's a website called Lulu that'll apparently sell you like an actual version of this. Which you know, it's got me thinking. My brain does a little tick tock, tick tock. It just drives a man to think, you know. I'm just driven to think, being a man, a fella. So now that we're recording, I forgot that I was recording. I'm very out of it today, so we're gonna keep it to one chapter. I'm like 2-3 chapters in on this, and you know how I complain about you're just wholesale copying chapters? A Tory game does that a couple of times. It at least has the courtesy to understand you can't just wholesale copy shit. But man, this guy is just... Inko is a big, soft, cosmopolitan Pillsbury doughboy. He's a soft little guy, you know. Inko doesn't swear. And I know that's often as like a joke, but Inko doesn't swear. He's a big, soft guy. It's supposed to be the superlative of the situation that he does say the big adult words. And I don't know how to feel about it so far. It feels weird. I just don't know. Like, he misgenders Fang, and I've always felt like, no, he wouldn't do that. Damien would do that. Damien would do that. Liz might do it. But not Inko. Inko is a soft Pillsbury doughboy. Yes, he wouldn't make that mistake. He's not that stupid about it. Listen, he might not have world's greatest int score, or world's greatest whiz score. He might not be the smartest, brightest soul. But gosh darn it, he tries his best. His flaw is that he is good-natured, but doesn't understand how to direct that productively. He's just kind of screwing around. Well, let's just get going, I guess. No reason to sit around and spitball. I actually don't even want to... It's like, if I read ahead, right, some degree of the magic is gone. I'm like, I kind of know where this is going. And for some reason, this starts off with like a fake twist implication that it never actually sticks the landing on because it's fake. So it's like, I get where you're going for it, it's cute, but like, come on, man. I can buy a physical version, apparently. Supposedly. You got a link up there saying I can. Anyway, we're back with Anon. Feels like it's been forever since I've had a good look at this man's face, hasn't it? Anon's just kind of been on the back burner over there, doing his own little thing. Hehehe. Alright, I'm just so out of it today, man. I don't know why. I slept like shit. I had a horrible nightmare. And I'm just tired. I just wanna lay down like Mario and start talking about spaghetti, ravioli, mamma mia. You know. Have simple dreams of simple things. Let's get going. It's a slow process to awaken this morning. The mental fog clings to me, wrapping my grey matter in a weighted blanket. A blanket that is minus the fucking warmth. Isn't the West Coast supposed to be temperate the whole year round? Yes, it's Mediterranean. Instead, I find myself in a fetal position what barely constitutes a mattress, covered in every single item of clothing and the few thin blankets I brought with me from rock bottom. I don't know what to tell you, Anon. Maybe you should, like... honestly, how did it get this cold in your house? How did it get this cold? What did you do? Slowly clawing at the side table for my refuge, I grasp at my phone, fumbling it about 8 times before swiping it and checking the time. Great, 2 minutes before my alarm. Days begins to creep back in, but I'm already up at this point, so I may as well get started. Time hangs in in a free fall of seconds, feeling like minutes before the digital klaxon sounds and my whole body propels itself into a twisting death roll. Flinging not only myself, but also every item covering me on the floor. Sickening. Why would it be sickening? Are you a sick man? Like how flabby are you that you hit the ground and it's a sickening thud of flesh instead of bone? Also, isn't he implied to be like skinny? Wouldn't it be bone? Honestly, the description of meat-wrapped bone sounds worse than this, actually. On the floor booms throughout the apartment below me. Some yappy little shit of a dog howling incessantly at the rude awakening. Me too, bud. Dragging myself to my feet, I fall into what is most likely to become my routine for the rest of the school year. Get up, pull on green shirt, wine out of 54. Balked by me, I mean, I'm poor, but it's my styles too laughable. Get breakfast in the form of a cheap, almost expired bag of Little Dino powdered donuts, procured from the nearest gas station, dollar rack. Why does this feel like... This feels like one of those sentences I write, and it's like the sentence should keep going after this. This is an interruption, but it doesn't. They taste more like mothballs, but the quick hit of powdered sugar on the tongue is helping dispel that ever-present miasma that seeped into my brain. What miasma? Are you sick or not, Anon? You sound like you need to see a doctor. Talking of miasma, mental fog, sickening thuds of flesh, awake but tired. See a doctor, sir. Quick run through the final checks before the morning commute. Phone for shitposting, check. Backpack for nerd shit, check. I really do feel like you should cut this short. Like, this part, get rid of that. Just phone for shitposting. Backpack for nerd shit. Switchblade for self, because it's the one that doesn't. It's the one that breaks the flow, and it's the first one. And switchblade for self. Wait, where's my knife? Who even gave you a knife, Anon? Who gave you this knife? I'm gonna run after him, saying no. Miasma, the spell from the hit video game Dragon's Dogma. I'm slowly shaking my head at this poor man. God, these chats are going nuts. Placing a hand on my ball. Okay, listen. I get it, right? Everyone's forehead is bald, you dumbass! I know that you're trying to describe that Anon is bald, but just... Like, come on, man. The foreheads are, like, at most have eyebrows. And no one points those out when they talk about their forehead, because they're considered the delineation. I suddenly notice just how out of place I feel. I haven't even checked outside yet, but all this feels ever so slightly off. That lapdog's tantrum from earlier. I expected a big-ass shitball or some other man-eater, followed by the screaming of the owner like in a place like Skin Row. Slowly unlocking the singular lock on my door, I hesitate to turn the handle. Wait, where? So, the big problem I have with this, right, with this whole, like, let's do a fake out, is... Instead of Anon actually reflecting on where he is and what he's doing, we get all this fucking random bullshit that's like, man, this isn't Snoot game. And I'm like, bitch, establish your fucking setting first. Forcing myself through the threshold, my eyes are assailed by the morning rays. But as they adjust, I'm left at a pretty big fucking loss, to be honest. Peering over the balcony and surveying my... You have a fucking balcony? I thought you were opening the door. Are you talking about the walkway? Are you talking about the exterior walkway of an apartment complex? Because that's not a balcony. I realize I'm not in Skin Row. Instead of crackhead-riddled streets ripe for trash and graffiti. I met with cleanly trimmed lawns sprawling from my apartment complex into the surrounding suburbs. Kids, middle schoolers maybe, walking jovially in small groups here and there. Elder Saurians power-walking their way to diners, enjoying responsibility-free retirement. Blindly locking the door behind me, I begin my walk, still amazed at the unexpected locale. There we go. But, like, Anon's connection to Skin Row has always felt to me like he's there because he has to be there. He does not have any prior connections to it. Like, he's new to, you know... Unless Skin Row's this universal thing, I don't... What is this? What? Oh. Oh, that's fucking great. Thanks. Jesus. Why? Here, let's big dork. I love that emote. Alright, Anon. Retrace your steps. How did I get here? This is... Listen, there's a reason why when I do bold, I also do italics, because bolds are a little hard to see in the default CSS. This is Bull Caldera Bluffs based on the signage here and there, but it's like it was flipped on its axis. Okay, first thing. I was forced to switching schools. Parents, my old man, used to pawn me off somewhere far away at some expense to him. Don't you mean at some like, this feels like it needs emphasis. Because it's not a small expense. Wait, how did it go in Japan Barrick Industries again? God damn it. All I know is that the falling of concrete is a danger to world peace. That's all I know. Japan Barrick Industries. Hold up, I need to find it. I need to find it. Listen, you don't understand. There it is. Hold up. Dun dun da 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 da. It's at low exu pence, and I just need to find the line, okay? You don't understand. Why is this translated that way? Hold up. I'm doing important work without a sign. God damn it. The building cannot take it for very much more. Oh. Break a filter. There we go. There it is. For a low expense. Or expense, because they're hamming it up. It's such a doofy little song. Okay. Parents, that meaning just my old man, used it to pawn me off somewhere far away at some expense to him. Call it a sacrifice for his only progeny. Yeah, right. And we'd be heading from the #1 flyover destination of rock bottom to Dinophoria. One's a city, one's a state, and on apples and oranges, buddy. But they're both fruit. Shut up. I'd have to be across the country. Hell if I know. But now that I'm here, what then? The streets are so quiet as I walk in the misty morning. Even the colder night is quickly giving way to a radiant morning that makes my choice of clothing almost optimal. It wouldn't be me if it all went well. Going where, actually? My feet carry me forward, even as I struggle to piece together my immediate past and planned future. Man, I got a big problem with my tummy. So hold on. It's just as if an instinctual part of me already knows. I'm headed for the monorail. Huh, that's neat. Nothing like that in Rock Bottom. The monorail? You know, they told me that a monorail puts your town on the map. Just barely functioning bus routes, and maybe a loose fleet of cabs. You mean Ubers, my man. There are no cabs. There are only Ubers, and they all suck. Maybe there's like one nice guy in your area, and you never get him. Getting stares here and there from passing Saurians. Most are polite enough to wave, forcing me to awkwardly reciprocate. The, dinos here seem a lot more exotic than I expected, though. Damn, maybe I was in a bubble back home. I don't know about that. I didn't know Saurians could be so varied. The general of anthropoid Saurian I was used to comprised only 1/3 of the denizens here. A lot more were even massive in stature, or absolutely tiny, or had a defining trait or appendage that made it clear they weren't just a bunch of humans dressed as lizards. I like those weirdos on that one Canadian dev forum. I really reamed those guys over that last project. You mean latest project? Can't even remember what it was now, but it was a good time. I pointed this out before, and I do really feel like the engine in fucking Goodbye Volcano High just kills that game, man. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. That engine does not handle those dinosaurs as well as it should for what... Like, seriously, the engine, the insistence on it looking like a fucking TV show is what made that game just so much worse than it needed to be. I wonder if that's why that one guy left. I imagine someone left realizing, hey, our requirements and our budget, like everything together, we can't actually make this project work. And if no one said that, hey, I'm available for hire, I can tell you you're fucking stupid any day of the week. You probably are. Before I can even take stock of my surroundings again, I'm suddenly all too aware of the claustrophobic proximity and dizzying inertia of the monorail. I like how we just teleported onto it. It really helps establish that disconnection, that mental fugue state. And I mean that seriously. It's a great way to establish that. Didn't Los Angeles become the most expensive town to live in on statistics? Possible. I mean, it's a fucking hellscape. What do you want? At some point, I'd pull out my phone again and start checking the usual forums. Nothing really good at this hour in the States, and the Eurocucks are only so much fun to mock on any given day. Yeah, because half of them don't even speak your language that well, so it's like, yeah, man, my jokes aren't even landing. Oh, whatever. I'll settle for some generic race baiting. Derogatorily calling some random trait medial dodgy behavior. Yeah, you can probably find something good on Twitstagram to put up there, and be like, ugh, meteor dodgers, am I right, gamers? And you'll get those cheap clicks. You lazy bastard. Your cheap thrills. Doesn't help that they went cheap. Do I have to bring up concrete scraping? .mp3 walk cycles. What does that mean? That they didn't take proper steps? That it looked like they were dragging their feet? Like, in Snoot game, yeah, because they're just sliding the art around, but that's because the engine isn't built to do anything else. Hell, you could just animate them to kind of bounce as they move, but who fucking cares, right? It's mostly about people standing around talking. And again, Goodbye Volcano barely uses the animation of the engine to do anything too interesting. Characters barely touch each other because clearly that's like a thing you have to work around. To the point that the few actual interactions like that are pre-baked in images. It's terrible. It's like, why did you do this? These are friends, and they like hugging. So why did you pick an engine where you can't hug? You dumbs. I don't know. I'm really feeling it, and I doubt whatever seeds I can get before class will really lift me out of this funk. The literal sliding. Ouch. Ouch. Penny for your thoughts. Oh, we're having Ferris earlier, I forgot that. A deep voice rattles through my body. Looking up, I see a towering white whale with a fine mustache spread across its inquisitive pucker. I just want to say that, like, we are taking a long-ass time to establish the main characters and the main conflict. Just in general, I prefer it when we get right into it and I know what we're aiming for, you know? I like to know the long-distance phone call I'm about to make. Come on. Honestly, sir, I don't know where I'm going. I think I'm going to school, but I might just skip class. The whale's brow turns up in a look of sympathy. Well, sometimes it certainly seems that way. Why, I remember when I was your age, the whole world, my oyster, an infinite span of possibilities lay before me. Closes his eyes and shakes his head. Certainly you aren't giving yourself enough credit. My boy! No, I mean, like, I don't know where I'm... Oh, come on, Anna. I mean, like, I don't know where I'm heading right now. A twinge of embarrassment forces me to follow up. Like, I'm going to school and all, but, something's off all morning, and this is my first day. Does this line go to Volcano High? I forget his voice. Every time I do Spears or this guy, it's like I forget what Anon is. It's magical. I mean, admittedly, the voices aren't that distinct, so who fucking cares, but... I'm bothered by it, and I'm talking. I'm talker... What is this? What is this cute... That's cute stickers. I want those. I'm stealing them. There we go. No, I mean, like, I don't know where I'm headed right... Okay. His brow furrows, only deepening as I continue. Though his worry for my mental state seemed to abate. Abate? Anna, you're not that fancy. You're a pretentious little douchebag. Okay, no, hi. No, it does not. Aside from school jurisdictions, I'm afraid they're quite full up this year. Oh, shit. Yeah, that clears... that clears a bit of the fog away, I guess. I seem to remember that almost completely dashing my hopes of escape before. I would like to point out, Anon, didn't you just mention that your dad sent you across the country? So, like... Weren't you open to options at this point? Like, Inko specifically wants to go to a certain school. Yours is, like, entirely coincidental. Man, what's up with my stomach? It's having a brawl. It's like, oh, come on, Safi, put up them dukes. How the Proto-Trans-New Guinea word for banana traveled to East Africa. Banana. So-called free thinkers when presented with a ball pit. What? 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 Why is everyone jumping in the ball pit? Why is everyone jumping in the ball pit? Why are people... Why do I get the weirdest updates at times like these? I don't want to think about the ball pit. Hold up. Hold up. What's this? They unironically made it about the evil Americans invading out and killing the poor innocent demons, and Green Day starts playing. What? What? I don't know a lot about DMC, but it seems... What? I don't even know what's going on right now. This is the problem with getting distracted while you're in the middle of something. I mean, I barely remember a volcano now that I think about it. What is going on here? I honestly don't know what to tell you, but I know someone who has, like, the weirdest fucking thing that they do. You know, some people will, like, spend hours writing fanfiction. Imagine someone, but instead they write, like, day schedules for fictional characters. They're like, man, you know, today, planned in a perfect day, just our piece. And I'm like, okay, buddy. Sure thing. I get the appeal, but, like, can you at least be creepy and do it to real people? That's interesting, you know? Now it's just, like, weird, mundane, and you're killing the weird and the mundane vibes at once. Would you perchance be Anon? It's Anon in the house! Yes, yes. Anon Moose. I correct without correcting. Oh, you say Anon too? Anal Moose. He takes my hand and is proven once again this is not human territory as he practically liquefies the phalanges with a sturdy shake. You don't know what a phalange is, my man. You do not. Good to meet you. I'm your school district superintendent, Mr. Ferris. I did seem to remember a unique transfer to the school this year. Post-racial school, and it won't just say human. Actually, in a post-racial world, you would say human. I've heard, like, in some areas, people are like, listen, stop making a big fucking deal. If you're pointing someone to a certain type of person and he has a certain type of skin, you just call it the fuck out, man. I suddenly scrunch my hand to reposition the bones and tendons. It's actually starting to come back. I guess I'm enrolled at St. Hammond, isn't it? Not really much for, you know, not much of a Catholic. Actually, it's Protestant. What? God, I love that he didn't do any research. He's just like, I guess I'm in school now. Why was Volcano High so good for you then, buddy? Well, even over the din of the metro, Mr. Ferris catches my mumbled comment and laughs. Well, that's certainly no requirement. Not for School of the Arts, though I can see why you would make the mistake. That being said, you seem to out of it more than a bad day could explain. What brought you to us in your senior year, Mr. Moose? Dodge! Welcome to the hit TV show, Dodge the Question! In this beautiful show, we will present these contestants with the most awkward questions in the world, and they must avoid them successfully. Now, of course, it's quite common for people to be confronted by their mother, but we got some twists for you today. We got a dad and an uncle. And you wouldn't believe this one. The boss that stole $1,500 from her salary. And, ooh, it's gotta be a good one tonight. One error noticed. Excuse me? I make no errors. I'm perfect. I'm flawless. God himself looks over at my table and goes, I wish I had answers that perfect. I'm such a loser. And then he cries, and I give him a pat in the back, because I'm just that cool. And God starts clapping. Everyone starts clapping. It's all clapping. All the way down. The lowest layers of hell know to clap for me. Anon doesn't know, he mumbles on, like, the... Yeah! The thing is, I'm used to so many fics where the mumbles get integrated differently that I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, Anon was really not even cognizant of that fact. He did not know. I mean, like, I get it, right? If the mumbles aren't a huge... They were kind of used as a device at a certain point, so the revelation to us meant something. If he's gonna keep that element, it's like, come on, man. On the other hand, this is a fic made for people who've read the original stories and thus would be aware of those things, so it's like, why keep it a secret? But, I don't know, it gives rereads a little extra charm. That's the complication with writing stuff like this. There, I wrote a little pun. Oh wait. A number of things, but I'm more interested in the name of the school, Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Superintendent. Mr. Super Nintendo Chalmers. So, parried. There are some bigger problems with Anon we get later down the line that I actually legitimately don't know how to feel. Also, they ham Anon up. They make him a bit more of an asshole, and I get it. It gives him more space to grow, but we already have Liv providing a similar energy of being a little shitposter, so you could probably tone him down and he'd be fine. Hell, wouldn't it be kind of fun if Olivia was too much of a shitposter for him and he kind of had friction with that? That'd be interesting, right? They could do something with that. I don't know. Just kind of saying. Might be a story there. Hello. I'm waving my hands. Hello. It's comforting yet probing gaze. How is it comforting yet probing? That's a very specific set of emotions to combine. Shifts into one of beaming pride. Ah, that's quite a story. It requires the context of some time before your birth. In the late 80s, when was Jurassic Park? We can never look it up. An engaging storyteller, Mr. Ferris is not. He spends the rest of the ride in detailed explanation, doubling back numerous times for even further back historical context and activist causes. I'm sure never did anything for anyone. Shut the fuck up, Anon. You are benefiting from so many of those jackasses from olden days. Don't even pretend that history was made just because of... Whew. Also, it's the 80s, and I don't know what to tell you, man. If you go before the 80s and you're talking in U.S. history, you might want to chill it on the, like, no politics thing, buddy. You're not going to a period of time that was apolitical. Like, oh, spicy. I'm not touching that. I barely know what's going on, and every time someone talks about, like, oh, do you mean the 60s? You mean that decade? Like, no, it's also that decade. Okay. But it's also it's also that decade, yeah. It's like 4 different decades rolled up into one. What the fuck is going on with your country, man? You have like 4 different decades happening in one decade? Where do you find the time? Jesus. That being said, I imagine that Mr. Ferris is not a good storyteller. But eventually the also, for a guy who talks about activist causes, you're riding a fucking monorail, which was, as we all know, made by the fantastic... I forgot what his name was. The guy from Simpsons. Fuck. Did that guy even have a name? Wasn't the LA riots in the 80s? Oh, fuck. I don't even know what the LA riots are. Thank you for making the Jesus Christ. So what happened in the 80s, Safi? Well, I know everything happened. Oh, apparently it was the oh, no. It was 1992? 1992. These riots happened the year before Doom was released. Jesus. I'm losing my goddamn mind, man. Doom released a year after this. Doom. Will it be peak? Like, I've mostly been frustrated by some decisions, but all in all, like, how do I put this, right? I don't like it too much, but on the level of Fics, it's, you know, Inko noted, Punch Truncator, it's clearly trying to do something, and it's setting it out, and the writing style is at least a bit more interesting. I might not agree with it, but fuck, if it's not at least doing something, you know? At least the clown is doing more than just doing stand-up. Nice pie in the face. Always great. LA was playing an alternate violence before Doom. When was Black Wall Street? Ugh, when was Black Wall Street? The Tulsa Race Massacre? Oh, that's 1920. Where did it go? There it is. Man, 1920 times were weird. Oh, there's also the Tulsa outrage. For the mass shooting that occurred 101 years later. Man, what is up with Tulsa? It's the same Tulsa? It's the same Tulsa! Jesus. American history is fucked up, I tell you. Fucked up. I don't want to hear shit from you Americans. You're like, no, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, read a book? I'm not even American, and every time I read about your history, it's either like cutesy 1950s ads, or it's like, during that same period, Americans were also grinding orphans into lead because they needed to reclaim the lead from the car fumes. And I'm like, okay, gotcha. Sure. Can't you just find lead in the ground? And it's like, well, technically yes, but it's actually cheaper. 1 cent to the gallon. Gallon? It's lead! Well, if you take the lead out of a child's blood, you get it in gallons. Why not a hogshead? Hogshead is a perfectly valid way of measuring fluids. How much is a hogshead? How much is a hogshead? I need to know now. Nobody knows. Fuck. A hogshead in Britain contains about 300 liters. Or about 80 gallons. That's a lot of lead. I mean, people say that, but like, orphan blood really only had so much lead in it. Like, sure, they breathed in a lot of lead fumes, but it wasn't that much. Kind of disappointing, actually. There are ale gallons and beer gallons and ale gallons and beer gallons and ale gallons and imperial gallons. Why are there so many fucking gallons? What the hell is a cylinder kiln? What is a Jesus, I'm learning too much about units today. I'm reaching my limit. I'm reaching my limit. Why is the English-speaking world like this? Why can't it just sit still for 5 seconds? If it's not causing human tragedies, it's like, let's invent another system of units. Which one is it this time? Well, you know about bushels of wheat, right? You mean sheaves of wheat. No, bushels. You mean sheaves. They're sheaves. No, it's bushels. And then I just go, oh. Have you tried a peck? I don't want to know about pecks. Do you know how long a furlong is? God damn it. If you want to know about funny ones, let's talk about this. An ox gang, which is 15 acres, is made out of strips 4 rods long and a furlong long, well, 4 rods wide. A viragate is 30 acres, made up of 2 ox gangs, and a kurukate, that's Japanese, curicate, is 8 of them. These fucking metric units, man. You're all fired. I don't want to know about it. The present day of furlong. There are signs with furlongs on them? Myanmar. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, the small units are also pretty cool. Mostly because I just like it when units are itty bitty. Listen, if someone walks up to me, right, and is like, here's a thwip. How long is a thwip? Oh. Oof. It's 1/1440th of an inch. Also known as 17.64 micrometers. Is defined as 1/20th of a topographical point. What? I don't... Are we ever finishing this? Or am I ever going to finish reading this if all I get to get is distracted by cute little points? God damn it. Safi sitting in class trying to learn about science, looks over his shoulder, sees the cute unit in the corner, being all shy. Oh. I can't. A moment is defined as 90 seconds. Alright. In any case, to make a long story short, I Raptor Jesus, why didn't he start that way? It is only fitting that the School of the Arts, with such unique gouges, be named after St. Hammond himself. Although the school is considered secular in its curriculum, isn't that a requirement of most schools? How would Anon get into a religious school? Anon, are you even registered with your church in a way that... Can you just get into one? I imagine it would have to be registered with a church, or they'd be like, motherfucker, you don't even give good old JC the thumbs up, you know? Have you ever had a little guy finger paint on your forehead on that ash day? Do you even praise Vivek when you go to the toilet? Wow, I cough. After not speaking since I asked the ill-fated question. That was Certainly an interesting yarn you spun, Mr. Ferris. I'm glad you thought so. It was nice to meet you, young man. And I look forward to seeing you on subsequent commutes, though most certainly not all of them. I do hope you enjoy your fine school and all it has to offer. If you ever need anything, know that our faculty is here to help. Oh, you haven't even got to the point where they explain how Anon is paying for lunch. If he does. Who's buying lunch? Inko bought lunch and Inko is gone. How is Olivia feeding herself? Is she just starving at lunch now? Oh, Anna, you fool. Anyway. Right. I'm sure I will. Thank you, Mr. Ferris. I have to poke a face to avoid a sneer creeping in. Yeah, right. I'm sure the faculty will be just as blind and uncaring as my old one. Art school or not, there will always be bad actors and careless teachers to enable them. As he bids me farewell, we're already at the campus and he splits away from the main entrance to follow up on whatever reason the superintendent goes to school. Shit. Maybe something did happen here like he did at Rock Bottom and I got a response. Well, I can always ask later when I see him on the metro again. Alright. Now we all know that what a Super Nintendo really gets up to is being overpriced on the Nintendo eShop. The campus looks like a college, replete with a mural. What does replete even mean? Like, it's a word I know how to use, but I don't know what it means, you know. It's one of those words that's in my lexicon, fitting or well supplied with something. There you go. I'd love to be replete with words. With murals and artistic design adorning everywhere the eye can see. I don't know much about arts outside of tasteful frog edits, but it's pretty cool, I suppose. I mean, I most certainly have the overwhelming feeling that the painters have long since devolved into burnout losers who couldn't get a job if it only involved existing. But they're pretty enough. In any case, time to settle into my plan, become one with the walls, and coast through whatever's left of my school career. Why would there be an infinitive? I guess it's because he's still doing it. Walking through the halls, I keep my head down away from the majority of students. I got earlier than expected. Still have an hour until my first class starts. I keep to myself, exploring the halls with the fewest number of students, never making eye contact, just surveying the scenery. Are you enjoying the view? Numerous halls of open roof designs. I guess you can do that in a place like Dinofornia. But I still wonder how they prevent the halls from getting doused when even when it sprinkles. Vines sprouting freely from almost every wall. And you'd think that they were decoration. I did, until I saw a Brachiosaur bowl over another student yelling about how she makes breakfast before chomping down. Somehow I doubt I'd be so lucky as to get a free meal here. In fact, the more I see, the more amazed I am this place was an option. No way my old man paid top dollar, and I'm definitely expected to subsist at the bare minimum in the way of housing and monthly allowance, but I guess that's a testament to the commie principles that keep this place afloat. I assure you, Anon, that if you're in America, you ain't nowhere near the commies. And anything that looks commie is almost certainly just pretense. Like, everyone complains about the whole cancer thing, and it's just silly in how it's implemented. In real communism, everything is great. All the flaws go away. Humans lose their greed. Everything is just fine. That's how you know it's not communism, because if it was communism, you wouldn't be complaining. No real Scotsman would ever leave a man live after a brawl, as they say. And if you are incapable of understanding what that meant, or that it was not meant seriously, come on, man. You're not going to survive these streams. I stop my aim as wandering eyes fixated on a nearby corkboard. I furrow my brow as my eyes run over the text over and over again. Why did you write it like that? Just say read the same text over. A chess club meeting, September 8th after school. I shake my head. Guess that's why it felt so off. Why everything felt so off. I don't think I've been in a good place since last school year. This entire morning, maybe all summer, been in a delusional haze. It's all a fleeting memory now. Monochromatic feathers in myriad of half memories. A school, a year, joy. Like, why are we hinting at this? Like, if you just dropped it and never. Why are you bringing this up now? Just one time, though. This confuses your readers for what? Like a quick gag? You've already made the gag. I rub my eyes hard enough to leave black swirls lingering after I remove my hand. At my power level revealed just before summer last year. Spent the rest of the school year and all summer in a haze, begging my parents to just help for fucking once. Only one solution in that. Yeah, isn't that a. Yeah, Todd Howard. Damn, that's a fair. Yeah. I guess they didn't have to spare any expense. Guess it was the last one they'd make for me. Whatever fancy my mind that occupied itself with is gone. I feel like whatever fancy mind that occupied itself with was gone. There should be a linking word there. Like, and I feel I should cry. Or now I feel. But really, I just feel empty. Yeah, there really should be like a setup word, because those are two sentences and they're just not connected. That's a semicolon situation, my man. Maybe this is a good thing. There gotta be people out here a million times weirder than me. And I'm not in constant danger of being shanked or robbed on my morning commute like I first thought. Besides, who take enough interest in some bald skinny to ruin my planned hermitage? Oh, what a great word. Hermitage. A small, forlorn smile graces my lips. Get some chapstick. I feel like whatever delusion I made up was... it was happy. Idyllically so. Elysian in nature. Utopian mind. But this wasn't so bad, and at least I'm not some lone loser talking to imaginary people in my head. I can't just talk to normal people in real life. Oh wait, I just can't talk to normal people in real life. It's an upgrade, kinda. Alright, I think I'm gonna go and,